The Palace of Versailles is an opulent complex and former royal residence outside of Paris. It has held sway in the public imagination for years because of its architectural grandeur and political history. The palace represents an age in French history of both France's rise as a fashion and power center, as well as the dramatic and bloody decline of the French monarchy. The Versailles Palace, which is located 20 kilometers southwest of Paris, is considered one of the most ostentatious architectural innovations of all times. The Palace of Versailles was originally constructed as a hunting lodge in 1624. However, the construction of the four major buildings began only from the year 1664 onwards. Prior to the French Revolution, which began in 1789, the palace remained the dwelling seat of the political power of France for well over 100 years, and it had a population of more than 60,000 people, making it one of the largest urban centers in Europe. The Palace of Versailles is an excellent example of the Baroque style of architecture, which also developed in the 17th century. As is evident in the structure of Château de Versailles, Baroque is characterized by extravagance in architecture, literature, and music, and was a veritable way of thinking that encouraged artisans to diversify decorative elements, such as gilding, stucco arabesques, painted vaults, and trompe-l'oeil. But despite its being significantly influenced by the Baroque genre, the entirety of the Château de Versailles is particularly harmonious thanks to optical illusions. The palace's setup is very geometric, with some distortions that work together to give the illusion that a perfect harmony exists. Spread over a colossal floor area of about 67,000 square meters, there are several sections within the palace area, some of which include the royal residences, the Hall of Mirrors, an important attraction in the palace, the Opera Hall, Museum of the History of Versailles. Founded in the 1800s, this museum houses paintings, sculptures, and collections which familiarize one with the history and culture of France. Gardens of Versailles. Just as famous as the palace itself, these gardens which surround the palace are eminent examples of French formal gardens, designed by André Le Norder, who gave the French garden its noble reputation. He made Versailles his greatest masterpiece. The landscaping made full use of all the water sources and played with light and shade by creating shady spaces, groves, alongside lighter areas, parterres. The parterres and principal alleys were punctuated with statues and yew trees trimmed into surprising forms, making Versailles famous for its topiary art. Today, Versailles is one of the most visited sites in France. Visitors are drawn to its architectural grandeur, stunning gardens, and its sense of history. A visit to the Palace of Versailles is one of the best places to experience French culture and its rich architecture.